What's happening, guys? It's Mothupi here. Today we are going to be speaking about how much you can expect to make in the first year of trading the financial markets. So today's topic was inspired by when I had gone through some of the multiple sources of incomes that I have. Then I noticed that maybe for some people out there into getting in the financial markets, they need a much more clearer understanding of what's the most realistic things that they can start looking into. Because I understand that there's a lot of ways whereby you will see people making money, but maybe these people have been trading for the past few years, or maybe they had that quick push, maybe a lot of capital to start up with. So you can't really compare yourselves with all these types of people that you'd be seeing. But what I can do is that I can give you guys some of the realistic numbers that you can play around with and see if this is a right business model for you and your goals, if this is actually what you want to invest in. What I've done is that I've been able to break it down into multiple topics whereby you'd be able to just at first see the realistic side of what I got in terms of me getting information out there, getting some literally researching information, and then I'll also be breaking down on my personal experiences, what it is that I see, I believe in stuff, and then as well we'll be diving a bit more into the other side in terms of the students, because I've been able to teach over tens of thousands of students across the world, basically living online. So I've seen some of them succeed, I've seen others still take long to succeed. So basically I can literally just be the right person to be talking of this specific topic. What you can do for me is just make sure that you actually do like this video if you do happen to find value, but the most important thing that you can do is hit that subscribe button just below, and as well just turn on that notification bell so you'll be the first people that would get that notification when I do upload. Obviously if you love my content, then you'd want to be the first person that gets to be updated when I do upload. Let's get straight to it. So the very first thing that I actually done is that I went and I started researching on this topic, and I started looking into what are some of the relevant sources saying about this thing. And with what I've been able to come up with, I've noticed that what they say is that a novice trader, someone that is not yet as good, or someone that's just literally just understanding the basics and getting a strategy here and there, literally getting by, can obviously make easily $100 a day consistently. So obviously that with the markets, it doesn't really mean that each and every single day you'd be able to make money. There's days where you're gonna lose money, there's days where you're gonna break even, and there's days where you're gonna make more. But when they round it off in terms of daily, they've been able to see that basically a person can be able to make at least $500 a week, which is literally close to $2,000 a month. And when you convert it over to rands, you can simply see that that's literally close to 30,000 rands in terms of a salary. So a lot of people, I understand that a lot of people can go out there, invest in, maybe go to school, and maybe 3 years in school, you get that diploma or degree, something similar to that, and then after they you get internship for maybe a year or two, making literally less than 10K, and then only after that's literally 6 years down, that's when you can start playing around your 30K a month plus in rents. So that's something that I came across. So what it's saying is that someone that literally can trade for a month is a novice trader that has been learning for a month. A month would be a bit even too much. 2 weeks, because for me recently I bought a course and I've been putting a lot of work into it. It has 7 models, but so far I'm at the last model, and literally every day it's almost I'm learning a model a day. The next day I do exercises, I learn a model, the next day I do exercises. So it literally took me, now it's just over a week, but I'm deep in the subject and I'm excelling and doing all those things. So what I'm trying to say here is that a course that can take maybe a month to 3 months, depending on how much time you put into it, if you're going through a few lessons a day, obviously you can push it more quicker. So within 2 to 3 weeks you can be able to just get that information done and put it into play. So when you are doing that, what it states is that there's a higher chance that you can average at least $100 a day, which is equivalent to obviously $2,000 a month, which I believe it's reasonable. And for a lot of people that would love to get a passive or a side hustle, that's a lot of money to be able to just push into making on the side, and not even having to have a boss, or not even having to have a lot of things that are going to require a lot of your attention, dealing with a lot of people, or having to go out there having expenses and running a legit business. Because with the forex market, the only expense that you have is Wi-Fi, and maybe if you are paying for your laptop or your smartphone, I don't know, but it's Wi-Fi, and literally but anyone has a smartphone, so I can't really say it's a business expense, but obviously it's your Wi-Fi. And at the same time, it would be something as simple as taking losses. And commissions are something that you can also expect as business expenses. But that is one of the resources that I came up with while researching on this topic. So now let us speak about my personal experiences. So I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. With me, it didn't happen very simple. I remember when I started like 2017, I saw a lot of people making a lot of success trading the financial markets, and I was like, you know what, maybe within 2-3 months I'll be gone, I'll be rich, all those things. And I started, like, I think the very first time when I actually funded my account with the $33 that you guys do know of, it was in April, and I bought my first course like maybe a few months down. During that month I was losing money, let's put it that way, but I would see some success, but I was losing money, so I wasn't consistent yet. Only the following, like April, only like maybe 8 months to 10 months down, because like from February the next year, February, but like literally like 10 months in my trading career, that's when I would say that I started seeing consistent profits being made, and that's when we'd be able to scale. And luckily, fortunately with me, with just doing that, or with just going through all of that phase, I've been able to see at least 6 figures in rents during that whole time frame. But I was able to actually scale it and push a bit more higher because of the power of I've been able to just take that money that I made and not just rely off of it. But what I've done is that I've been able to just decide that, okay, let me start other businesses. Let me take this money and fund other businesses that are going to give me passive incomes. And fortunately, it was able to just allow me to not focus too much of how much am I making month and how much am I making this. But for me, literally speaking, like I think the very first year when we bring it all up into like maybe the total that I've made would be like $15 to $20,000, somewhere around there, like profits that I've made like in a year of me just trying out trading. But moving forward from there, that's when things started to be a bit more exciting, because I went from literally $20,000 that I've made in like 12 months spent like in a year to making $20,000 in literally like less than 2 months, and then there was a time whereby I've even made like over $70,000 in literally 1 month. During that, like the next day, there was a time where I made like 70,000. When you think of it, obviously that's $1 million rands in a month. So those are things that I was able to experience, and I believe with my side, it was because of the fact that I was focusing more on the skill instead of on the making money side, because I just didn't see it as a way of I wanted to build something that's sustainable that I can work with even moving forward. So I learned a lot. Like I spent a lot of time investing in courses. I took multiple courses, and I spent a lot of time as well just learning the skill and being able to see what it is that I can do to make sure that at the end of the month I go home with at least the minimum of this month. So those were the things that I was doing. I was literally back testing, and with me it was a bit more different, because compared to other people, with me I've also got like people that I'm teaching and stuff. So it's not as simple as I can easily just take this information and then apply it and then see what works here, and then like just like that. Like what I do is that obviously I would have to overlearn, just so I can be able to know what are the answers when someone comes to me and be able to ask me. So obviously I spend a lot of time learning and being able to just teach whatever that I was learning. So those are things that actually took most of my time, because I wasn't just focused on myself, I was also focused on helping the next person get it. For me, it wasn't even helping them make money, because I wasn't making that much money. It was helping them get in this business model, because for me, the fact that I would be able to sit at home, download money, basically like be on my laptop, have a skill that would give me money just from having Wi-Fi and a laptop, that like for me meant a lot. So I wanted to get a lot of people to do this, because I would hear people panicking, talking about how they're not going to get job after school, what they need in order to just make it through, a lot of things that they seemed as obstacles. So for me, I just wanted to get them like, hey guys, there's what we call forex, you guys can get into that. So obviously for me to do that, I had to focus more on getting that right information. So yeah, for someone like you, it shouldn't take it that long, especially when you've got things such as like now YouTube. You can watch my YouTube videos, you can learn from multiple, like there's a lot of things that you have access to now that you can actually learn from. But yeah, that's actually for me, basically when you bring it down, I would say somewhere around like maybe $15,000, $20,000 in the first year of my trading career. But from there, like things started to change. Like from there, the next year I made a lot of money in just the year, in just like even a few months, like be compared to like basically the previous month. So yeah, and I know people that have made a lot of money quick. But that brings me to the next one, on which I now want to talk about the other people, like on the other side, in terms of me seeing some of the people that I've been with. Speaking about some of the people that I've seen and I've been like within their journey. Obviously with me there was a lot of things that was against me. Maybe you are relating to this. I didn't have funds, I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have there's a lot of things that were I didn't have. But I've seen people that came and they didn't have, like, maybe a lot of funds, but they had guidance, a mentor, on which it also made their journey a bit shorter. And I saw people that came that had money and as well that had a mentor, and they also, I could see what it does when you are like that. So obviously if you fall into like a category that has no money, that has no mentor, obviously then it can take a bit more different compared to someone that has money and a mentor, or someone that has a mentor and has money, doesn't have money. So those are three different types of categories. But breaking it down and then coming back into one, I've seen literally like members that came through, and as soon as they got the right skills, they've learned, they didn't have that responsibility of, like, educating a lot of people, like having to do all they had to do is like literally just plug and play, like plug that what they've learned into their own MetaTrader platforms. So what I've seen is that I've seen like literally members that were able to more than 500 times their account within like a week, 2 weeks. Not saying this to promote my services, but I've got a video that you can see. I think I took this video 3 years ago when I was still, like, talking more about some of what my students would do and stuff. And you'd see that there was a member that literally took a $33 account. I think it's 33, I'm not too sure, but it was like less, I think $20 or something, to over $300 in less than a week. And I've got a lot of success stories that people fund their account like literally today, and they can make double that amount today. But at the same time, there's people that are losing money. So with my understanding, I came to just basically just narrow it down to average that yes, it's very possible that you can make around $2,000 a month, which I believe that in your first year when you are trading, you can at least expect, in the most realistic way, you can at least expect to make $25,000, which is at least 300k a year, which is at least like somewhere around 30k, 300k rents, and which is at least around like 30k, somewhere around those numbers, 30k rents a month. But obviously it doesn't mean that you'll make 30k this month when you just started. Maybe it can take you a while. You can start making 10k, 5k, 10k, 5k, then boom, then you average. Then at the end of the year, that's when you are now averaging around like maybe 30k a month, which is something that you can also look into. But I want you guys to just take a look at this. Tell me what type of business model would allow you to be able to make 25k in a year, $25,000 or 300,000 rands in a year. At the same time, all you have to do is just wake up, come on the laptop, analyze for a few minutes, get some nice entries, manage your trades, allow execute, and then manage basically afterwards. Come back, write down how the trades went each and every single day, whereby you are working 2 hours a day and you are able to make that amount. At the very beginning, I understand that a lot of people would be like, okay, now that you were making like that much, like just from trading and stuff, why did you do other things? Obviously guys, the most important thing is to invest or put your capital into other areas. I knew that for me, I just didn't there were times whereby I would make a lot, there were times I didn't make a lot, and I just didn't like that whole idea. So obviously I started learning, and I had a lot of time. Imagine I'm only trading 2 hours a day. What am I going to do with the rest of 22 hours like in the day? Let's say minus 8 hours when I'm including sleep. What am I going to be doing with that? So obviously I started doing what? I started learning on what can I invest in, what other businesses can I get involved in, what can I do, and all those things, which I'm a person that actually loves to hustle. Like I love to put in the work. I love to work and work and work. So if you are like maybe a person that's just lazy, you want quick money, easy money, obviously like it's not gonna work out for you. But if you are willing to put in at least 2 to 3 hours a day in order to just like at least make that type of an income, it's very possible. So it all depends on what it is that you want, what it is that you're comfortable with. But let me ask you this question: making at least $2,000 a month on your side, what can it do for you? Let's say you haven't got an income that's coming in yet. What can $2,000 do for you a month? Let's say you've got an income that you've got. What can making an additional $2,000 do for you a month? Let's say you're making a lot of money. What can making $2,000 a month do for you? Obviously, any person with money would tell you that it's very wise to keep on getting those passive incomes. As long as they're not taking a lot from you, it's okay. You can invest in that. So even for me, even if I'm making $100,000 every single month, obviously, even if I see an opportunity that's going to require a lot from me, but that's going to at least promise to give me $2,000 a month, I would take that without even thinking twice, because at the end of the day, my daughter has to eat, my family has to eat, and everyone that's close to me has to eat. And fortunately with me, I invest more into people. Like obviously you'd think most people would be like, for your income you're making this much, but you're not showing in terms of your lifestyle. And for me, it's because of like, I've decided that my money is not for me. My money is the people. Just like I'm teaching people and I'm giving back and everything, what I've done is that also the money that I'm making, I decided that I've got like over, now the last time I checked it was like 11 income streams a month. Now it's more than that. But what I do is that I'd rather go broke whereby I'm at least paying these salaries or giving back to this in a certain way, or doing this, growing these people. Like I'll literally just take a person and try to grow them. And I've seen people that I never thought I was doing an impact on, that would come to me and be like, hey, this is what I've been able to do for my family. And I'll be like, wow, this is impressive. So those are things that actually make me happy. Otherwise, then maybe I would lock myself up, be comfortable with the salary that I'm making and not want to share, not want to impact on, which it's okay, I'm making money, but I'm not making an impact, and my whole goal is actually to make an impact. But yeah, that's actually what I have for today, breaking down the topic of how much you can expect to make in the first year of trading. Comment below what it is that you think. Comment below if you've been trading for the first year, how much you actually started making and how far you are now. So see you guys on the next YouTube video. It's your boy Lesiba Mothupi. Make sure that you have already subscribed and remember to turn on that notification bell. So let me just wait for you, so you hit the subscribe button now. I'm sure you're hearing it. I'm sure you're pressing on it, because if you are watching and you are here but you didn't press the subscribe button, obviously it means that you and I, we have to be physical. I'm joking, but yeah, just make sure that you do press it. Make sure that you press it. I waited enough, and I'll see you on the next YouTube video.